She in yet? Welcome to the class, girlfriend.
Hi, I'm here.
Hi.
Thank you
Okay,
so much
guys.
for the thing.
Yeah, that was my bad. I'm sorry. Okay, so guys, I am so happy to bring Julie in. She was just talking about her name is an internet name, and it's like if you Google it, this really cool animated character comes up, and I'm like, oh, I didn't realize you were.
Oh, you were talking about that. No, League of
Yeah,
Legends, actually, I think they kind of stole my likeness just a little bit. Because
yeah,
they
that's
created this
crazy.
character that's named Seraphine that's supposed to be an online influencer. And me and my friends, like, we actually played that game. So I
Yeah.
was like, wait, what? Oh my God, no way. And then, like, I kept getting messages on Instagram because I have, like, a lot of followers. And they're like, is Seraphine based off of you? And then it got to the point where I had to, like, go to my Google page and then answer a question. Someone was like, is Seraphine based off of you? And then I was like, no, but it should be.
That's great. All right. So Julia and I met I don't know, over a year ago, a little while ago, and she is an Instagram queen. I was actually a client of hers, and she also is a micro influencer. I'm going to let her say her background because it's an amazing background. And I thought she could talk to us a little bit about Instagram and social strategy and how she's really cracked the code on Instagram since it's such an important channel for us as we think about our businesses. And rock and roll. So do you want to share your screen? Welcome
Yeah,
to class. Thank you for coming.
I'm Julia Seraphine. I'm a little wacky, I apologize. So this presentation is called Instagram for Your Brand by Julia Seraphine, which is me. So basically, I'm just going to share my story, how to grow your audience, raising your engagement, and how to convert followers from social media. So my career started at 9 years old on a social media site called Roblox, which is still up today. I learned the native advertising platform and used it to get my fashion group to be the second largest on the site. And I sold thousands of clothes and got more than 100,000 visits at only 9 years old. And I've since been considered a prodigy of social media, and I've tested in the 94th percentile for cognitive ability. And if you see that picture in the upper right-hand corner, that is my gameplays from when I was a kid. So I started social media again when I was in college. I studied it both in and outside of school. So I did a lot of independent studying, both like on forums and inside my school. And then I used that knowledge to become an influencer while I was in college. And I've reached up to 19,000 followers now. But back when I was in college, I had like around 10,000. So I went on to become a social media manager freelance for more than 4 years. I harnessed the power of LinkedIn and made connections with business owners all over the world. And that's my LinkedIn. I very recently hit 22,000 followers, so I'm pretty excited about that. I've shared my expertise on national television, radio shows, more than 15 podcasts, and internet shows. And I'm considered an expert in my field. I'm well regarded, and people from around the world ask me a lot of questions. So it feels pretty good. So this past year, I turned my social media freelancing into a business, founding the Julia Seraphine Agency this past fall. And that's my logo. In the picture, that's my assistant and my favorite purse. So I was later nominated for the Forbes 30 Under 30 for my work as a social media manager. And I won the 2020 commercial arts competition for the Connecticut Entrepreneurship Foundation.
Congratulations.
Oh, thanks.
I think that's new. I don't think I saw that before.
Yeah, I shared it on LinkedIn, but that's like pretty much it. I don't
Okay.
like share news very often. I try to keep it on the down low because I'm like, oh, I'm so shy. It's weird to be a social media person and then be as shy as I am, but I'm actually a huge introvert. And when I get good news like that, I'm just like, oh my God, no, I have to share it with everybody. That requires me to be social. And I can't stand that right now. So after years of volunteering for business student causes, I was promoted to Director of Social Media at the Entrepreneurship Foundation, which serves business students in Connecticut, in the Connecticut colleges. So basically my job is that I reach out to the heads of the business departments at all the Connecticut colleges, and I help them promote their business competitions, the competitions that the Entrepreneurship Foundation is hosting or are hosting. And I just try to help out. And then I market everything on social media. That's actually where I was before this, and that's why I came at 6 o'clock instead of like earlier, so I apologize. So I've also independently mentored students from all over the world, and I've won an international award for my efforts from Phi Theta Kappa. So now I'm going to get into the meat of it. This is the good part, juicy. Your professor can send you a PDF copy of this, but if you'd like to take notes on some of the other stuff that I say, feel free to do so. So first I'll start off with how to grow your audience. So make sure your account looks as good as possible. Make sure that your profile picture, your bio, your story covers, everything looks not only cohesive, but professional. And there's a big difference between just taking some Google images and putting them on your covers and having ones that like match each other and they match the content that are stored in the story covers. So try to get everything to look like someone professional did it. And they don't have to know that you did it yourself at Pinterest at 1 a.m. on a Tuesday night like I did. Make sure your content is engaging, visually appealing, and valuable. So what I mean by valuable is that it offers value in that it's entertaining, it is relatable to your audience, it's educational, it just gives something back to the person viewing it. Or it's like, it's good for the person to view it in some way, or for them to have consumed it. Like if you give them a video teaching them like, oh, this is how I juggle, that's educational. And it's entertaining too, because juggling is pretty cool. And people will follow you if your account is entertaining, relatable, or aspirational. Aspirational being that it's something that they want to aspire to. Like there are people like Kim Kardashian, and people aspire to be as rich as she is. And that's why they follow her account. So if you have something that like you think other people would want to aspire towards, like maybe you get good grades and you want to share your academic success, people will aspire to want the same academic success that you have. And that's something that is easily marketable. So my next tip would be to differentiate yourself from other accounts like yours and make sure that your account is special in some way. Now, you could say like a lot of influencers, their accounts look exactly the same. And the only thing differentiating them is like, oh, this one has brown hair and this one has blonde hair, but they all post the same outfits and stuff. Now, I'm sure that they suffer growing their own personal brand if people keep comparing them to somebody else. But if you don't have that sort of like unique factor, then you can't personally brand yourself. Like, say instead of having all the same outfits and the same hairstyle and just like the same captions, say you have like different captions, you have like educational captions instead of just an emoji, or you utilize hashtags better than your competitors, or your content offers value in a way that your competitor doesn't. That's a good way to differentiate yourself in your niche. And it's not only good for if you have competition, but it's also good for just growing by yourself too. Now, a lot of people, they like to network and grow followers that way in their niche. And I think it's a lot healthier to think of other accounts in the niche like your friends instead of your competition. But I'm referring to them as competition solely because that's kind of what they are if you're in the same niche and you're in the same account and you're competing for the same audience. But you can work together with these people also. And I think that that's really powerful. And I think you should try to use social media to make friends instead of like enemies. So I would also say post as often as possible, at least once a day if you can. Try using the principles of psychological marketing to make your content easily consumable and addicting to look at. And what I mean by that is like, I know that this is SCAD and you guys might have art skills, you know? I'm sure you do. You look very cool, very artistic. So you could post your pictures and your pictures are nice looking, and someone would love to look at them. If you give people that sort of good feeling that they're looking at your art and it resonates with them, it makes them happy, then that's what I mean by utilizing psychological marketing. So if you want, you could even create artwork with this in mind. Like if you create artwork with the purpose of captivating your audience and sending a message that might resonate with someone, that's a very powerful marketing tool, not to sound crass. So you can't just gain followers through posting and hashtags alone. You need to make your own growth plan by doing research and reaching out to as many other users as possible. And that's sort of what I was saying earlier, that if you talk to a lot of other people in the niche, you'll make friends, you'll become a part of the community, and you might even grow as a result of it. Now, growing on social media isn't the be all and end all of social media, but it definitely helps. And that's why I say reaching out to different people on social media is a huge tool for growth. Like most of the stuff that I've done on social media is just reaching out to others in my niche and trying to do shout out for shout out, trying to grow my account by commenting and liking other people's posts. And I'll get into that when I get into raising engagement, which is next. But just using social media to be social is the most powerful growth tool that there is. So yeah, be sure to use Instagram the way it was intended. Like, comment, follow, and those other users in your niche, they'll grow your audience. Like if you comment on, I don't know if you guys are familiar with cosplayers, but if you commented on Jessica Nigri's post, she's a famous cosplayer, then other people that follow her will see that comment and they'll be like, wow, this person likes the same thing that I do, and they said something insightful. Maybe I'll check out their page. And then since your page is optimized, like I mentioned earlier, that everything looks professional and the content is good, then you might have just gained yourself a follower just out of the blue. So I'd also like to say, make sure that you're using the right hashtags for your niche. In that, I mean, content related hashtags aren't as effective as niche related hashtags, because people are looking at niche related hashtags a lot more than content related hashtags. Content related hashtags being, maybe you're wearing a pink outfit and you do like hashtag pink. People might not be looking at hashtag pink as much as they're looking at hashtag fashion. Or I said this in another, I think it was an interview that I did, that if you use like, you take a picture and you're under an umbrella and then you do like hashtag umbrella, like what is your end goal in using that hashtag? Do you want the umbrellas to like your post? Because umbrellas don't have opposable thumbs and they can't like your post. So try to market it towards humans and what humans are looking at. And don't hashtag inanimate objects unless you think other people are interested in looking at them. So here's how you raise your engagement, which is huge, because you could have like so many followers, you could have tens of thousands of followers, but if you have no engagement, then brands aren't going to want to work with you. You won't have the kind of reach that you want to have. And just overall, it's not as healthy for your account. But I've seen accounts that have like 1,000 followers, but they have crazy engagement, like really good engagement. Like they could get like more than 1,000 likes on their post and they only have 1,000 followers. Now, having good engagement is definitely more powerful than having a lot of followers, but having both is the best thing. So try to get both, and that's why I'm teaching you both. So give people a reason to like and comment on your posts. Put a call to action in your picture or your caption. That kind of rhymed. Like and comment on other people's content, you know? Engage with the most popular pictures in your niche, and people may discover you this way. Like the story I was telling earlier, commenting on famous people's posts. People in the comments, they'll look at that, they'll see you. And if they see you enough, they might just be curious and click. And make sure that whenever you leave comments, that they are authentic. So they're related to the picture and they're like relatable or kind. So authentic being that like you genuinely mean this. You're not just like saying that. You don't like, I don't know, you're not lying to them just to get them to follow you. Like if you really like someone's shirt in that picture, you tell them, you comment that, it'll make their day. And that's really powerful. Making someone's day is huge. I love doing that. I love when people make my day. So you should do that too. And make sure that it's related to the content too, so people know that you actually looked at their content. And make sure that you like also look at the caption of what they posted. And you could even reply to something in their caption, like maybe they put a call to action in their caption and you answer a question that they have, or you tell them about whatever fun fact they're asking for. If you post something related to the content that they posted, they'll know that you really took the time to not only comment, but actually look at the content that they're posting and absorb it, and that it resonated with you in some way, that's the reason that you're commenting, not for your own selfish gain. And even being relatable or kind, those are huge ways to like really get the audience to go with you, or really get an audience to go with you. Because if you comment something relatable, like, oh, I love the restaurant that you're at in this picture. And one time when I was there and like the waiter, they were really nice to me. That's relatable because maybe the waiter was really nice to them. And be kind too. Like, don't comment mean things. That's probably pretty obvious, but I feel like I have to say it anyways. Just be nice, be kind, put positive energy out there, because you'll get positive energy back. And make sure that you will benefit by having this person or their audience as followers. So don't just comment on someone's post and they're not in your niche, or they're like some person, like they're not in your audience even remotely. Like, make sure that this person is in your target audience and that they would be a good follower of yours. And don't reach out to anyone that you think is like posting content that wouldn't be good for your audience to follow. Like, if you see people and you engage with them and they're posting maybe harmful content, you don't want that person to be your follower, because what if they comment on your posts and then people are brought to that content that they're posting just simply because you commented on that person's post and they commented on yours. So make sure that these people that you're commenting on, make sure that they're a good person and they're a good fit for you. So this last step is how to convert customers. So you first need to acknowledge that it will not happen instantly. No. It could take a while of gaining your followers' trust or loyalty before they're inspired to make a purchase. A lot of people hire social media managers and they think that right away that they'll get a bunch of customers just because they put themselves on social media. Like, I had this one customer like 2 months ago, and I wasn't able to bring new people to their salon right away, even though like I had just started marketing. They were expecting new people to come instantly to their salon. First of all, it's a pandemic. How are they going to go to your salon if the whole state's in lockdown? Second of all, like, you need to be patient with your marketing. It's not going to happen overnight. And there's a lot of people that think that it'll just happen if they just post like 1 picture, 2 pictures. No, it's got to be like a consistent effort. You really got to put in the time. You got to want it. And you got to let your followers know that you want to like inspire a sale within them, and that you're loyal to them as well as they're loyal to you, and that they could trust you to deliver them a good product or a good service. So here's how to inspire a sale on social media. First of all, you need social proof. And that could be like having 100 followers, that could be 200 followers, that could be good engagement. You just need to prove to these people that are your potential customers that this is something that other people want and that other people trust it. And that maybe even other people have bought or used this product before, or that they've used your service and that they could trust it. Because social proof is very powerful. Like, I wouldn't say it's like a herd mentality, because that's just like a bunch of people. But if you get at least like 1 or 2 good customers to post a review of your service, that's definitely a lot more social proof than having no reviews or no testimonials. You really gotta like prove that your product works and that other people want it and it's a desirable product. So You also have to make sure that you have good products or services. This is a no-brainer. And most people think like, oh, I have a good product, so I'm perfect. Now, I had a store actually before this, and it was like a jewelry store. Good example. So I had all the jewelry that I liked, that I bought from wholesalers. And then I went into my school, my college, and I set up a little table in the middle of the school. And then I just sold jewelry. And a lot of the pieces that I really liked, nobody was even interested in. I realized then that like I was maybe a little biased towards my own product, and that maybe I didn't have the best products like I thought I did. Make sure that you reach out to others and ask them, hey, is this a good product? Or hey, is this a good service? Is this something that you would use? And make sure that you get other people to say yes before you just blindly go selling something without having any proof that it'll sell at all. Make sure it's good. And then the next thing is trust. Now, the customers, they need to trust you a very big degree before they buy something from you. Like, they need to trust, first and foremost, that your payment processor isn't going to like steal their credit card information and then steal their identity. So like they might be worried like, oh, this website doesn't look trustworthy. Their social media doesn't look trustworthy. I'm not going to buy from them. And they also need to trust that the product that you send them is going to work. They need to trust that you're not scamming them. You need to prove to your followers that you're trustworthy, that you're just a normal human being too. You're not some like thief, some crook in the night trying to steal their credit card information. You really have to like build that trust with your audience. And that can be done by like interacting with them, being friendly, posting content that shows your product working or your service working, proving your expertise in a certain area if you're a service-based business. Just letting people know that what you're selling works and that they could trust it. And then there's also an element of brand loyalty, which is the next step. So for brand loyalty, there are so many people, like we're in the day and age that there's not many new things. Like maybe in the 1800s, there was like things to invent, but not really anymore. So obviously there are going to be many different products that are the same as yours in some degree. And this may not apply if you have like a revolutionary idea, like something that people haven't thought of before, but that's very rare. So I'm just going to speak to more like, you need to make people like your product more than all the other products, more than all the other services. And you need to get them to like your brand the best and get them to be loyal to your brand. That's a very powerful marketing tool, because if they're loyal to your brand, even if their competitor, or even if your competitor reaches out to them directly and says, hey, I'll give you this product for free, just don't buy the other product, that they would rather buy from your brand instead of getting it for free from someone else. Like that's the most loyal that they probably could be. But just get them to really like resonate with your messaging, your brand identity. Get them to be relatable with your brand. That's how you build brand loyalty. And like I was mentioning earlier, that your account could be aspirational. Now, I would say appeal to the ideal self, which is, who do people want to become? In your target audience, what are they looking for? The psychographics, right? So think about like, oh, this is the fashion niche. Maybe everyone wants to be like Kylie Jenner. Maybe they want to have all these fancy clothes and stuff. Maybe you should post content that like shows their ideal self as a part of your brand imaging. And then people will associate your brand with the ideal self, and they'll attach it to their sense of becoming their ideal self. And when they work on themselves and they want to get better as a person, then they'll think like, hey, a good step in this could be What if I buy this product that will make my life better and that'll help me become the person that I want to become? Then they'll be like, oh, this is perfect. I know the first thing that I want to buy, and that's your product, because you've been marketing to them that they can become who they want to become if they use your product. And lastly, you need to generate demand. Like, you need to make people know that your product is like, it's like selling like hotcakes. It's flying off the shelves. Everybody wants it. And everybody's getting on the wait list if you have a wait list, or they're signing up for your email list, or everybody's following you, everybody's commenting, everybody's liking. You need to show, it kind of ties back to social proof, that demand in itself is a type of social proof. That if you have a lot of followers on your business account where you're selling things, then it kind of proves that there is a demand and that your product or service is something that a lot of people want. If people think like, oh, everybody wants this, they'll want to feel involved. And they might want to get your product too, just because other people are showing how useful it can be. Now, driving demand isn't easy, but if you get a good audience, then it really works itself out. So if you're a product-based business, such as someone selling an artwork or a design, use Instagram to your advantage. Use Instagram to post beautiful pictures of your products. Make them look amazing to your followers. Make your followers want them. Make your followers, like, make the image stick in their mind longer than the 5 seconds that they're looking at your picture. Make them think about it sometime later in the day. Just make sure that you post something that would stick with someone. And then if that sticks with them, they'll think about it. They might actually buy it just because that image has been replaying in their head over and over again. Using Instagram for physical products is a very powerful tool because you could show them what it is, and you could show them how cool it is, how useful it is, how beautiful it is. Using like pictures to really sell that message, or even videos of the product, like demonstrating its use. Like when you were a kid and you're in recess, right? You see this like yo-yo on the ground and you're like, oh, a yo-yo, who cares? But then you see Billy from recess and he like picks up the yo-yo and you watch him play with the yo-yo. All of a sudden you're like, oh my God, wait, I want to play with the yo-yo. Billy, give me the yo-yo. Like, they'll see that Billy is enjoying the yo-yo so much that they'll want to use it too. So get someone to demonstrate the product, get user-generated content, or hire someone to just demonstrate it in a video. And you could easily do that. Just get one of your friends to like do a yo-yo or something on a video, or even TikTok. Like, TikTok is huge for that right now. But Instagram is like tried and true. So a lot of marketers are using it now. And I trust Instagram a lot more than TikTok right now. But that's for another day. So getting visuals of your product is a good driving force to make somebody want it. And I think that you should utilize that if you can. So if you are a service-based business, use Instagram to market yourself as an expert in your field. This could be done by posting educational content about your niche. By posting a lot of information, you're proving to your audience that you know a lot about your specialty. When you prove that you're an expert, or at least knowledgeable about your field, your potential customers will trust you enough to use your service. Like, I've gotten so many clients through LinkedIn where like they said, oh, you look like the expert in your field and you're so young. We could use that. Like, we could use your expertise on our team. And like, people have hired me because of the social proof that I have on social media, that people regard me as an expert. That's very powerful. Being an expert at something, or at least being knowledgeable at something, is a good marketing tool to sell your service. Like, me being a social media expert, people, they see my expertise because I demonstrate it to them online. And then they're like, wow, she knows a lot. I know that she'd be good if I hire her. And then that works. And then Obviously, you have to back it up by actually being an expert, but that's up to you and studying and just becoming familiar with your field. Like for me, it took me years before I could be considered an expert, but I've been doing this for 4 years now. I've studied for even longer. I've been doing this since I was 9, so I'm an expert, just from that. But you could become an expert on your own if you're a service-based business or a service provider, and just be an expert on the internet, and people love that. I love being an expert, and other people love that I'm an expert. So just be an expert. Thank you, thank you. I'm gonna take a bow. That looked more like a dab than a bow, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Julia.